brother Alex. And as you can tell, as you see, Lewis is not here. He's not here, and I want to address that. I definitely don't want to pretend that he wasn't around, but this season for the next couple of episodes, it's just going to be me. We may have a guest. We may have some people maybe even call in, or I don't know. I'm still thinking and asking God to give me some creativity and give me some ways to be innovative. But our brother Lewis, you guys know with the Drop podcast, all the episodes, he is focused on some things right now with his baby boy, with his family, and he lives in a different state. So for the next couple of episodes, you're just gonna see me. Hopefully that's okay, and then definitely my brother Lewis. You'll see him back soon for us to do some episodes. But just wanted to address that real quick. But this is Alex, and this is The Drop, and we are so excited. And I say we because I definitely don't work alone. There's other people that I speak to, people like my wife, my friends, and people that I consider brothers that I have conversations with that give me ideas, that help me with setting up of this equipment, help me with feedback, positive feedback, and even criticism, ways to help this be better. So that's why you hear me say that word we, because I'm not in this alone. And even you guys, even the listeners, all of you that subscribe to the channel, that listen on Instagram and follow, I really appreciate you guys and appreciate you listening and taking time today. So we are just, I want to have some conversation today. I want to be very, very, you guys know my word, very intentional with our topic today. I don't have a series planned. I wanted to do this episode a little bit different, and then as we move forward, we will then kind of build up in our series, just like you've seen before in our Drop podcast channel. And we are living in uncertain times, crazy times. And I don't want to spend all this podcast talking about it. This is not the intention of it. But at the same time, we are in the comfort of our homes. I think that's why I wanted to do it this way. In my living room with some coffee, just kind of make you feel that I'm having a conversation with you right there in your living room and your dining room table and possibly your car or wherever you find yourself. But we are home. Many of us are home right now, dealing with a lot of things that are going on, trying to stay positive and keep our faith. One of the verses that comes to mind immediately is when Jesus talks to Peter. He says, the devil has asked me to sift you, to shake you, to kind of shake your life up. And then he tells Peter, but I pray that your faith may not fail. I love that verse because it is during our times of trials, our times of troubles, times where circumstance and where life happens, that's when we really see this come into action, really come into play, where our faith is not failing. We really, when things are going great, we really don't exercise some of the fruit of the Holy Spirit. It is in the times of trouble where we really see the fruit of the Spirit. We really see God. We really see the disciples and believers really stepping up and really, talking about this faith that we all constantly preach about. But let that be an encouragement to you that your faith may not fail you during this time. One of my favorite stories, out of many, but one of my favorite stories is the story of David. The story of David. We see David in scriptures, and as a young person, I heard this story a lot being used, especially for the worship team and worship directors and those types of settings where we hear David a lot. But there is so much to David's life that just can apply in many different ways. And we see David, he is anointed to be king, and though he is anointed by Samuel, he then goes back to the field to work. And David is a shepherd. He takes care of sheep, and we see in the story, we see in the Bible that he fights lions and bears, and he's this strong man that takes care of what belongs to him, of what was given to him to be in charge of. But I want to jump to a specific story that we've all heard, and if you haven't been in church for a long time, and if you haven't been in church ever, you've probably heard this story in some way or form, which is a story of David and Goliath, right? We We hear that story as a kid, we hear it even as adults, and we see it portrayed in many different ways. We even see it in movies. We see it in Disney movies and TV shows, and in some way or form, it is being portrayed. It is being used as a foundation to kind of set up a story where it's kind of like the underdog fighting this giant, kind of like the underdog about to fight something that, if you look at it from afar, it's almost a given, like you are going to lose. It is no way that David, so much smaller than Goliath, is going to win this battle. And those are my favorite types of stories. But specifically for the next couple of minutes, I kind of want to dwell on this one part and hope to encourage you and hope to kind of push your thinking and stretch your mindset and what it is we call growth and preparation. I'm gonna pause right there so you can listen, let that marinate, let that sit, and I'm gonna take a sip of coffee, and I'll probably put a little bit of music right now for this. Preparation, growth and preparation, it is so key in our lives right now. It is so key in our lives right now, and I see this in the story of David. And you know, when I'm talking now, and this is live in the sense of live thinking. I actually will probably make this a series. Anyway, so the story of David, I gave quick background. So he's jumping in, right? He's about to, the father sends him to bring lunch to his brothers, and Goliath is calling out. He's calling the people out. He's saying, who can beat me? He's challenging them. And David is there, he's hearing this, and he starts saying, who is this Philistine giant? Who is this guy that's talking to us this way? Have you ever, at least for me, I have this issue. Even though I'm smaller in size, I'm only like 5'10", 5'11", and we, sometimes in situations growing up, I've been with my friends and someone saying something, whether it's on the basketball court, whether it's like a real fight, whether it's in the lunchroom, whether it's wherever it is, whether it's at the barbershop. No one likes to be challenged. That's good right there. No one likes to be challenged. If I challenge you, if I say something that would challenge the way you feel, the way you think, that would challenge you maybe in front of others, it is interesting that I can say something to someone alone, and I can say something to that same person in public, and they will react differently both ways. So I can just put myself in this picture and just kind of see David like, why is this man talking to us this way? Who does he think he is? Like, how dare he talk to us in this way? Does he not know? Have you ever said that? Do you know who I am? Do you know who you're talking to? And David is about to confront Goliath. David is about to go through this whole moment of trying on armor that doesn't fit him. I don't want to dwell too much. I don't want to be too preachy. He goes through these series of emotions and events, and he gets to a point where the Bible says in the book of 1 Samuel, he grabs 5 stones, puts them in his bag, puts them in his pocket. That's one of my favorite messages. He puts some stones in his pocket, and he goes to fight Goliath. Now, have you ever found yourself in a challenging position, just like we all are, where we feel that we have to confront something that, even though we are talking big, even though we are talking with excitement, even though we are talking with assurance, deep down inside, there's this fear that we might lose? Have you ever found yourself in that situation, right, where I'm talking all tough, I'm talking all bad, and who are you? Do you know who you talk? Why are you talking to me this way? But deep down inside, I'm thinking like, I don't think I may win this battle, though the scriptures don't reveal that to us, and I'm careful in my interpretation. But I could just imagine David was human, and deep down in his mind, he must have been like, I've beat up lions and bears, and I'm pretty confident. But I wonder if he thought that way. I wonder if at one point did he think, man, am I really going to win this? Am I really going to come out of this victorious? In the times we're living in, we want to be positive, but there's many of us that are we going to come out winners in this? Are we going to come out more than conquerors? Is our church going to survive? Is my family going to survive? And whatever circumstance, you may get a bad report of the doctor, and they may tell you may have cancer, or that you have a disease, or that a relative has 6 months to live, and we hear these things and we think to ourselves, I know I can fight. I know that I'm who I am. I know the God that's in me. I know the God that I serve, right? But am I really going to come out victorious? And these are the things that just happen in our lives. Am I really going to come out a winner in this situation? So David grabs 5 stones. We really don't know what he's thinking between now and the moment that he confronts Goliath. And the thought of just, am I really going to win? And this is where I'm wrapping up. These episodes won't be long, I promise. But here we see David with 5 stones, and as he goes to have this conversation with Goliath, and we'll break more and we'll get deeper into that, he throws 1 stone and it knocks Goliath out. It kills him. Before David goes to cut his head and to make it official, he wins this battle at this moment with 1 stone, though he had 5 in his pocket. Jesus Christ was 30 years old when he started ministry, and he was only in ministry for 3.5 years before he was crucified, before he gave his life for our sins. So why do I bring that up here? It is our preparation will always be longer than our time of execution. Your preparation must be longer than the time of execution. It takes me much longer to record and to edit and to produce something that's of good quality and of excellence, to give it to you, to put it on YouTube, it takes much longer to do that than it does the actual episode. You hear 13 minutes of it, it takes me 3 hours to edit. David has 5 stones, and as he's preparing, as he's thinking, as he's strategizing, as he's creating methods, it was the first one that killed Goliath. And I want to encourage you, whoever you are listening right now, you can be a father, you can be a mother, you can be a pastor, you can be a leader, you can be a CEO, you can be a president. You can find yourself in any level of life, and this applies to you. Why and how? Why? Because as a father, as a husband, as a person, my preparation must always be longer than the time of execution. If I'm getting my wife a gift, if I'm preparing for a celebration, that must always be longer than the time of execution. Dinner's an hour and a half. The celebration may only be 3 hours, but it took me all week to think and to prepare to execute that moment. You are speaking with your kid gets in trouble. We don't have the privilege of having kids yet, but I can imagine parents are thinking, I'm not going to go talk to my child in the room. You shouldn't go react quickly. Maybe you should think about, prepare what you're going to say, and create different scenarios in your mind, and then talk to your child about whatever the situation is. And that preparation must be longer than the time of execution. Maybe the first couple of words may break the ice and create deeper conversation, but you have to prepare. And I hope that makes sense. But David has 5 stones, but only 1 kills Goliath. His preparation was longer than the time of execution. And I think we fail in this. I think as a culture, we fail at times. We want to see things so quickly. We want to do things so fast that we lack preparation. This applies to your finances. This applies to the things that you do in church. I'm always pushing people, prepare. Don't be surprised that days and months of preparation will feel like nothing when the time of execution only passes in minutes. And this helps our growth. We are never going to grow. David would have never grown if he didn't have this principle of preparation. If anything, I think I understand about David is that I can imagine that maybe the first attack with his sheep, with an animal, with a lion, with a bear trying to attack his sheep, he learned, now I know that I have to prepare because the next attack I'm not losing. And that's what I want to encourage you with, that whatever attack you've been hit with, make sure that your preparation puts you in a place where this next attack, this next challenge won't kill me, because I have more than just 1 stone in my pocket. I have more than just 1 strategy in my pocket. I have more than 1 method in my pocket. I have more than 1 sermon in my pocket. I have more than 1 type of way of responding in my pocket. And this is a great time where we are being stretched, where everyone's going on live stream, where Everyone's going on Facebook Live, and it is amazing to see how the church is coming together, how we're helping each other, how we are connecting. You're connecting with people that you would have never connected because now you need help. There is nothing about being in need that reveals that we actually need each other to grow. And this preparation is going to help us to execute much better. So take your time, prepare, because it's going to help your growth. And I think that what I really want to hammer, the idea that I really want to put across is that to make it practical, right, to the times that we're living in, don't be afraid to prepare. Don't be afraid to do more than one take. If I can use this analogy as a way to use for your preparation, this episode may take more than one take. I may not just do it right the first time. I may have to re-record some things. I may have to re-say some things to properly execute the idea or execute what we are trying to get accomplished. So don't be afraid to prepare, because preparation will launch you into your growth. And just like we see in David, his preparation launched him to be able to kill another man, a man that was challenging to him, and what he thought may have killed him, his preparation actually allowed him to be victorious. And we can go all types of routes with this, but listen, I thank you for listening. I didn't take too much of my coffee because those who know me, I can talk on and on, but I appreciate your attention. I appreciate your time. Leave some comments below. Give us your feedback. Let us know and tell us what was your favorite part of this episode. Put some quotes. Let us engage in conversation. Let's keep this going. And I'm excited. to give this quick episode to you guys. More content, more episodes coming, so I just can't wait. This is your friend. This is your brother. This is The Drop.